We asked students 21 questions to get to know them, their program, and their experience at Salus University. Here's what they had to say. What's your name?
My name is Dung Jennifer Dung.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nederland, Texas.
What program are you in?
I'm in optometry traditional class of 2022.
Why did you want to pursue this career?
I wanted to become an optometrist because I was exposed to the health field at an early age. I translated for my grandma a lot, probably like since middle school. I'm also I was also like a first generation student as well. So I had a lot of thinking to do. I knew I knew I wanted to be in the health field, but I just didn't know which one. It wasn't until I went to like an optometrist and realized like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool with glasses. Like it helps with the vision. And then like later on, I took an elective as a senior in undergrad. It was like a self-learning course. And it made me interview someone of my career choice. So I had to go out there and interview like a optometrist. And that's whenever she told me about how it can relate systemically. So you can check for the ocular health. So that made it more interesting. So that's how I pursued my career in optometry.
Why did you choose Salus?
I chose Salus because of their diverse population that they get to see. I really love disease. Since I mentioned before that I had translated for my grandma often. So I was always aware of different diseases. I just didn't know much about it. So that was like a great way for me to choose Salus. And also it's early clinical exposure. I believe it's like second year in spring is when we started. I also used to work as a tech for about 2.5 years full time. So I was kind of excited to have early patient encounters.
What have you discovered about your subject area as a grad student that you wish you knew as an undergrad student?
Like early on, I was like, okay, why would I want to do like 4 extra years? But it's honestly not too crazy. It is demanding, but 4 years is not really that long. I am a 4th year now. So I can tell you that time does fly by pretty fast.
What do you feel is unique about your program at Salus?
I feel like it's unique because we do have a big class, and because it's a big class, we're also diverse in where we're coming from and our ethnicity. So for me to get to know my classmates and stuff like that, it actually translates and helps me with my patient education in a sense. And I feel like that's pretty unique to us.
What clinical experience has made an impact on you thus far at Salus?
I really like patient interactions. Now as a 4th year, we get to pick a major and a minor. So my major is in contact lens and my minor is in in primary care. Right now I'm doing a lot of jumping around through different specialties, and it's made me feel more comfortable and confident in my skills. We are getting to work with a lot of different doctors each day. And so it's been a great learning experience. They do like a great job of because it's not always for glasses, they're always either for some kind of disease or something's going on. So the preceptors do a great job of quizzing me on things that are related to that topic and kind of discussing treatment plans. So it's been very helpful in that sense.
Have you had any discouraging or especially triumphant moments in the classroom or clinic?
I guess you can't really help but feel discouraged when you don't pass something or do very well. I think I've just learned to have those experiences and not be too hard on myself. It kind of should be just like a motivational thing to kind of help you move forward. And then you just kind of try to concentrate on your end goal of earning your degree, and then try not to beat myself up in that moment, and then just give it my best effort to move on from then.
What's been your favorite class so far?
So I really like CPS, which is our clinical problem solving class. I feel like it's great because it kind of encompasses all the stuff that we learn, and it's relative to patient care, and it kind of gets you going and thinking of what could they have and how you would treat it, and kind of like patient education. So I like that, and I also like clinical skills lab because it's whatever we're learning, we're getting to apply it on like the equipment that we're using, and I'm a very hands-on learner. So I feel like those are also pretty cool.
Have you had any Eureka moments in the classroom or clinic?
I think those are moments like whenever you doubt yourself and you think that you don't know something. And then when your preceptors ask you something related to a case, and then you automatically answer, and you're just like, okay, mental high five, because I didn't realize that I remembered that.
Are you a part of any clubs or groups on campus?
I am. I'm on class council as the treasurer for a class of 2022. 22. Wow, that's a tongue twister. I am also a member of Gold Key, and then also of the American Academy Student Fellowship as well. And then I am also a part of like the peer mentoring program. I have like 3 mentees.
What's your favorite study snack?
I honestly feel like I don't really snack, and I drink a lot of coffee. Like I have an espresso machine and I'm using it pretty often, not lately, but when boards happened, I did. I also use like my French press to sometimes do like cold brews, but I do love to go exploring around like for like the local coffee shops and stuff. So like a couple nearby, some good ones are like the White Horse or Sumatra that opened probably like just before COVID happened. And then Be Well Cafe in Huntington Valley is also nice.
What's your study strategy?
My study strategy would have to be like, I like to listen to the Panoptas or try to go live, which we do not have that anymore. And then afterwards, I like to write my own notes. Sometimes it just helps me to see it in a different way. And then depending on the class, sometimes I feel like charts definitely help, just because like sometimes you just need to see the big picture and compare between different diseases or medications that you need to kind of review quickly. And I feel like charts help in those classes.
Where's your favorite spot to study on campus?
I used to study in the library in those rooms. I usually either study with other people or by myself, but I noticed that I like to study at the Hafter often. I have worked there since first year, I believe, and they have rooms upstairs and they're usually empty. So I feel like those are always convenient for me, and I also like to play basketball. So sometimes when I take study breaks, I just kind of like walk downstairs and shoot some hoops. But right now, like the gymnasium is still closed to that part. So hopefully they start opening it soon whenever things are a little bit safer to do so.
What advice would you offer a peer who might be struggling in a specific subject or class?
I think it's just one of those things that will happen. Sometimes we are just learning so much that we max out and our brain is tired. I feel like it's best to write down what we do understand, and then where things start seeming a little bit confusing, just so that way you're not too down on yourself. Like you do know some things. And then after that, you should try to ask for help. If you're too afraid to ask, like, your preceptor or anything, you can always ask your friends first. And then that way you can kind of narrow down a particular question that you want to ask your preceptor. So that way you don't feel as intimidated.
How have you felt supported as a student and an individual while enrolled at Salus?
I feel like with any program that's going into the health field, it's going to be a lot of stress. So that's like something that you can't really avoid too much. So having a great support system is pretty much essential. I feel like my grandma and my siblings have been a great support system from home. And then I have a lot of like first generation cousins that are pretty much starting like high school or just starting college. So they're following me kind of closely to see me succeed. So it's just kind of like one of those things that I'm doing it for me, but just as much as I'm doing it for them as well. And then because we have a big class, I love to interact, and I have gotten to know like really good friends that have been a great support system here that's like a little family away from home.
Where's your favorite place to chill between classes, on campus or in the community at large?
I would have to say the Hafter Center again, just because I work there, and then I also like to work out. So I know now it's like those signing up for those block hours to work out. But I do find like that pretty fair, just so that way it's not overcrowded, and then you can do what you want to do to work out. And Yeah, and it's just kind of nice. Sometimes there's the lawn chairs where you can kind of just like chill out, and there's like the nice scenic garden. So it's kind of like peaceful to sit around and just enjoy the outside for a little bit and be away from the classroom side of it.
How has going virtual impacted your learning experience?
I feel like personally, I do better when I actually go to the classroom. I feel like it gives me a sense to get out of the house, and when you kind of like have a kind of like a routine, it helps me because I feel like if I just wake up and open my laptop, I really don't want to start. So I feel like it's more engaging whenever I'm in person. I also feel like virtual has been fine as well because I feel like some of the times more of the doctors, because before some doctors wouldn't record, but like no matter what, because of not being able to be in the classrooms, everyone's doing a really good job of trying to make it virtually accessible.
What's the first thing you want to do once the pandemic is over?
I feel like now it seems pretty close to normal. It does feel weird because like before it felt weird to have a mask on. Now it feels weird to have a mask off. I mean, yes, we still do it in clinic and such, but if we're outside, I don't know, sometimes I'm just like trying to tug on something, but there's nothing there. But once everything's like for real normal, I'm like really close to my family. So it'd be really nice to have like a really good big get together with all like the relatives and everything, and just kind of like catch up and enjoy the like a barbecue or something.
What advice would you offer an undergrad considering pursuing an advanced degree in this field?
I would say, because it is like another 4 years and something that is like going to be difficult, make sure it is right for you. Like for me, I wasn't accepted on my first attempts, but I really wanted to do this. So I made it happen. Like I worked full time for about 2.5 years, and then I went back for my master's, and I finished it early. All these are things to help boost my resume. And then I pretty much applied for optometry at the same time. So when I finished my master's, I like went straight into optometry. It just goes to show that everyone's path is going to be different, but we all have the end goal to make it happen. I feel like it's also good to like be patient with yourself, and like, there's no rush to do anything. And also just to balance your time studying and also enjoying your experience here.
To learn more about Salus University's programs, visit salus.edu/academics.